Nice. Thank you for being patient. Okay, cool. Now we can get going. Okay, perfect. So this is our first formal recruitment workshop, and we'll probably have one more before the 16th of August, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page and we're all feeling comfortable about putting our best foot forward and going through this process. It'll let me go to the next slide. There we go. Okay, cool. So for formal recruitment, the only 2 days we'll be participating in our open house round, which is August 16th and 17th. We are not currently participating in all of formal recruitment, which is nothing new to us, but it's personally my goal for us to participate in all of formal recruitment next year, and I would love to work with the next recruitment chair to plan all of that out and get that so we can do it. So if anyone's interested in being the next recruitment chair or wants to help out with planning all of that, please let me know, and I would love to work with you on that. So here's our master schedule of kind of what will be happening. So on Monday, we're going to get on Zoom at 11 a.m. just to kind of set up, prepare ourselves, make sure everyone's good to go and that everything's working. And then our first round will be at noon. So rounds will be 20 minutes apiece, and we'll get a 10-minute break in between each round. So I'm probably just going to have us stay on Zoom that entire time, because if we have people try to leave the Zoom and rejoin in between each round, that could cause a lot of problems. So our goal is to stay on Zoom the entire time, but you can obviously turn your camera and your microphone off and go to the bathroom or get a snack in between rounds or whatever. So please try and eat either before we get on Zoom and or in between the rounds. Like obviously try not to be eating or drinking when we're talking to P&Ms. So then on Monday, we will end at 5:50. That day is the last time we will talk to P&Ms. That's the last round. We'll do 12 rounds on Monday. And after that, after all the P&Ms leave our Zoom meeting, we'll just kind of go over the game plan for the next day, and then you guys will be free to leave. On Tuesday, it's the majority of it will be in the morning instead of the afternoon, and we will hop on Zoom to set up and get ready at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. So our first round will be at 9:30. These will again be 20 minutes, and we'll get a 10-minute break in between each round. And then our last round will end at 2:50 on Tuesday. So some things about what to expect. So open house round is completely on Zoom, which is the 2 days we participate in. But then after that, the rest of formal recruitment is in person. The reason that Panhill is choosing to do this is because there isn't a vaccination requirement currently at UNL. So while open house round is the biggest amount of people at each party, they didn't want to be filling the houses that much. And because the vaccination requirement isn't enforced, that means that masks are also kind of on the honor system. So they don't want to have a big outbreak before we've even gotten through recruitment week. So we're kind of just playing it safe that way. I know that being on Zoom sucks, but there's also other great things about it. So what'll happen first is the Zooms or the P&Ms will join our Zoom, and traditionally we would have you, if we were in person, they would sit down with us. You would probably have about 3 P&Ms to 1 active member, and you would have a small conversation. Then we would go into the presentation about our chapter, and then we would switch and they would talk to a new girl. But because of it being on Zoom, that's a little trickier to maneuver. So we'll be doing less transitioning and have more time for conversation that way. So what I'll probably do first is the presentation about us, and then we'll go into discussion with the P&Ms. Because we only do open house round, this is the only time that these 1,000-something girls get a chance to hear about Sigma Alpha from us ourselves, unless they decide to pursue us through open recruitment. So we need to make a really good impression and make them feel welcome. Like I said, we're probably going, each active will talk to more than 1 P&M at once. We can't outnumber them, which is called hotboxing, and that's against the rules anyway, which isn't a problem for us because we don't even have enough people to outnumber them. So not a huge deal, but we'll probably have, I would say, probably about 3 PNMs per active. And we'll just talk about things like their hometown, their major, like what they're most excited about for joining Greek life. Just kind of have small talk with them, but in an impactful and welcoming way, so that they can see that Sigma Alpha is, we're cool, we're fun, we're inviting, we're, you know, awesome girls to hang out with. And remember that they are just as nervous as you, and probably, if not more so, all you have to do is make them feel welcome and carry on the conversation. And it's your job to lead the conversation. But I remember when I was a PNM, the first chapter I walked into was Kappa Delta, and I don't remember anything about it. So these girls are very nervous and they're going through a very overwhelming experience. So if we can be the chapter to make them feel comfortable, even if they don't choose to rush our house, that still says to people in the UNL community that Sigma Alpha is an amazing, inviting group of women, and they'll say good things about us. So even if people are not joining Sigma Alpha, it's still very important that we're putting our best foot forward and creating an inclusive environment for people. Okay, so some Zoom tips since we'll be on Zoom these entire 2 days. I know this kind of sucks, obviously. We want to be done with COVID. We're working on it. Hopefully this semester is a lot better, but all we can do is make the most out of every situation. I know that it's a goal of our exec team and our chapter currently to make the most of what we can do and get back to having impactful experiences within our restrictions. So, in regard to being on Zoom, please find a quiet place to be. Since we are all on Zoom, this gives you the opportunity to be at your own house, in your room with your door shut, or something to that extent, so that you don't have distractions and you're not getting background noise when we're trying to have impactful conversations with people. On top of that, please try to go to a place where you have stable internet. If you if your internet is sketchy at your house, and you can't like book a study room for 8 hours at a time or whatever, which seems pretty realistic and unrealistic and impossible, let me know and we will find you someone else's house to go to so that we have good internet. This is a part of being on Zoom where we quite honestly have the advantage, because chapters with houses, they're trying to have 150 girls on their internet Zoom at one time, and that's a big disaster. And on top of that, they don't have enough space to spread out, so they're not getting like feedback and background noise. So where we don't have a house and we don't have a physical place we have to meet because of Zoom, this is a huge benefit to us. Also, please have a professional background. If you're sitting in your room, try to make sure that it looks neat and presentable and there's nothing that doesn't represent the chapter well. If you are unable to make a quality clean background, just use a virtual background. It's absolutely fine. But please just make sure that you're presenting yourself in the chapter well in every aspect of what we're going through here. So I would say look how you feel your best. We'll all be wearing the Sigma Alpha t-shirts that are being ordered, and those are supposed to get it in the first week of August. I will be passing those out for everyone in Lincoln. If you will not be in Lincoln in time for formal recruitment, please let me know so that I can get your shirt mailed to you. We all need to look the same on Zoom. Obviously, that's the whole point of ordering the shirts. So please communicate with me if you will not be in Lincoln to pick your shirt up so that I can get it mailed to you ASAP. When I say look how you feel your best, present yourself how you would for an interview or going on a date or something of that nature. We're marketing ourselves and we're putting our best foot forward, and I want you all to feel confident in how you feel best. So for example, for me, that looks like curling my hair, wearing cute earrings, and putting makeup on. That's totally fine if that looks different for you, but please present yourself how you feel the most confident. So if you find a lull in the conversation, you can always go back to our values, talk about our sisterhoods for fellowship, or talk about our philanthropies for service, or how Sigma has really helped you grow academically by holding you accountable for scholarship hours, or something like that. And ultimately, no matter what in the conversation, do not bring up booze or boys. The only time it is okay to bring up a boy is if you are talking about your dad or your brother, or in the only capacity it's okay to talk about a frat is if you're saying Alpha Gamma Rho is our brother fraternity and we do hog roast with them. That's it. We all know that froshes and frats, parties and booze and boys and whatever exists, but we have to pretend that it doesn't for the sake of the conversation. Because this is values-based recruitment, that's not what sorority recruitment's about. You can still go to a frat party without being in a sorority. That's not what this is about. This is about finding people you connect with and have similarities with to better yourself and better your community. Okay. So like I said, no booze, no boys. And the equally as important part of that is please keep it off social media. Honestly, throughout the formal recruitment week and our open recruitment week, if you are going to post on social media, please only post about Sigma Alpha. Other than that, it can wait until the next week, because during this time, people know if you're in Sigma Alpha or not. Obviously it's in your bio, or they've seen you get tagged in something, or they know you're in Sigma Alpha. Everyone who knows you knows what you do. So please do not post about it. You can just wait until after it's over. Obviously, we don't have a house, so I can't enforce the not drinking, not going out thing. Like, you're adults, you can make your own decisions. Exec is not your mom. We're not here to bust you. We're not here to parent you. We want you guys to make the most of your college experience, but please be smart about it, and please do not do anything that could hurt your reputation, the sorority's reputation, or get us fined. Because if we break these rules and Panhellenic finds out about it or sees a post, it will be a major fine to the chapter. And if you're the one who got caught, you will be paying that fine. So please just don't do it. It's 2 weeks out of the year to only post about how much you love Sigma Alpha, and the rest of the time you can go nuts on your private story and take the cutest pictures ever with your boyfriend. Just please do me the courtesy of not posting about it. Thank you. Okay, so when we go through this process, we need to remember who we are as a chapter. There's 15 other sororities also doing this experience, and we all kind of look similar in a way, and we're all very different in a way. And I would say that Sigma is especially one of the more unique chapters, just because of all the things that differ from us. We don't have our house. We're the only professional sorority. We're the only agriculture sorority, things like that. So focusing on our pillars and the things that make us a quality organization will help girls see how we are professional, how we are sociable, how we care about our community, how we serve other people, how we are kind, how we are outgoing. The list goes on and on. The point is that focus on what makes Sigma Alpha amazing and what parts of our sorority build our sisters up. And when we look at this ABCD on the side here, in the role development world, we talk about a thing called asset-based community development, and that applies here too. So that means we're focusing on the qualities that we do have that make this sorority great, and we're building upon them instead of worrying about the things we lack. We could all be down in the dumps about how we don't have as many members as a lot of chapters, or we don't have a house to work with, or things like that. Or we could focus on the amazing girls and the amazing opportunities we do have. So I encourage you all to be positive and think about what we have to offer already. Awesome. So some things to keep in mind. We are looking for women who positively impact and who are going to invest in this chapter. So we're going to stay open-minded. You may see a girl and she may look like she didn't grow up in the country, or she may look like she doesn't know anything about agriculture, or she may seem like she doesn't fit in with us, or anything like that. But I encourage you to push beyond your initial reactions and really try to get to know each woman you talk to personally, because whether or not they would be a good fit for this chapter, like I said earlier, giving them a positive experience helps us no matter what they decide to do. So on top of that, we're building our reputation. We are still a new chapter at UNL, and we are still very much in the building stages of becoming formally established. So it's important that we're being positive. And on top of that, we are very unique. Like I talked about, we have a lot of attributes that a lot of other sororities don't have. And while that is very appealing to the women who decide to join us, it could also be a turnoff to other girls, which is completely fine. We are just like Nebraska. We're not for everyone, which is okay. If every sorority was for everyone, they would miss out on the quality of the relationships and the impacts it has. So we need to remember that who we are is important, and we need to stick to that and pick the people and the practices that uphold that and make that better. So another thing to keep in mind is be inclusive. When we create a welcoming and inclusive environment, it invites more diverse individuals to want to join that. And when we use words like diversity and inclusion, people traditionally think that stops at like race or religion or politics or sexual orientation. But in reality, it's so much more than that. It's mindsets, it's talents, it's majors, it's where people come from. It's every aspect of who we are is unique in what makes us diverse. And the more positively we can get different perspectives and different types of people to join our chapter, the more skill sets we'll be able to use to conquer more as a chapter. So think about that when we're being inclusive and welcoming and positive to meeting these new women. On top of that, recruitment is marketing. We are showing off our brand of who we are as a chapter and ultimately trying to get people to buy in to what we're selling and who we are. So lastly, how can you guys get involved and help more on top of showing up and being the amazing people you already are, obviously? So we are all in this together, and it takes every single one of you to make this work. So first of all, when we're in the breakout rooms, like I mentioned, you guys are leading the conversation. If being outgoing or outspoken isn't something you're traditionally comfortable with, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about strategies of how to make you comfortable and the most successful in that instance. But ultimately, it doesn't have to be a scary thing. All you're doing is asking them questions and playing off of their responses so that they feel welcome and had a good time. On top of that, we have, and another thing about breakout rooms is Kathleen and I don't specifically know how to set up and run breakout rooms, especially on the large scale we'll have close in between 100 and 200 girls on our Zoom every single time, counting P&Ms and actives. So if someone has experience with breakout rooms, please let us know, and we would really, really appreciate your help. If not, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But if anyone knows, that'd be awesome. So next, name tags. I have all the supplies for these, and what we're going to do is there will be a gold paper, a gold glittery paper that will be cut out in the shape of your home state. And then on top of that will be a piece of paper also in that same shape with your name on it and where you're from. So I will be looking for anyone who has a Cricut or can use a Cricut that would be willing to cut out all the states, and then someone who has cute handwriting who would be willing to write the names. That would be greatly appreciated. On top of that, social media, please keep sending your cute pictures, what you're up to this summer, all of that to Lauren so she can use them to help market us as a chapter. Lauren has been doing an amazing job as our PR chair this year, and I think we can all see that on our social media. So please keep helping support her in that role. And also, whenever you guys post, feel free to post about Sigma. Feel free to tag Sigma in your post. Just keep promoting and shedding a positive light on this sorority and how it has impacted you. Keep sharing our story and your story. And lastly, spread the word. I would say that this goes for formal recruitment, but especially our open recruitment, which will be in September. So if you know any women who you think would be interested in joining formal recruitment, definitely reach out to them and ask if they have signed up. But once a woman has signed up for formal recruitment, that is where the conversation has to end. You can't be like, oh, you should join Sigma Alpha, or here's what I think you should do, or you'd be really great in this. Once a woman signs up, you can no longer talk to them about it until after formal recruitment, because that's considered dirty rushing, and that will get back to Panhill, and we will also get fined. So ultimately, when it comes to encouraging people to go through formal recruitment, it's encouraging them in shedding a positive light.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh. Okay, I don't know who that was, I guess, but never mind. It's about shedding a positive light on the Greek community as a whole, and remembering that we have 15 other chapters on this campus who support us, and we need to support them right back. As far as our open recruitment goes, that's a lot less formal, obviously you text your friends, you text girls you've met in class, you text girls you know from NAYI or high school or whatever, and you say, hey, I think you would be great in Sigma Alpha, come to our event. Ultimately, I would like each member to invite at least 5 women to come to our open recruitment. And I'm super excited for that, and it's going to be awesome. Our theme for open recruitment is Paradise Awaits. It's going to be beach theme. It's going to be so cute. Addie and I are working on t-shirts right now, but they're actually going to be Comfort Colors tank tops because we're beach theme and we've never done a tank top as long as I've been here. So I think that'd be super cute, and it's still hot out. So anyway, yes. And on top of that, we can do this. I believe in all of you, and without all of you, this would not be a successful experience. So I thank you all so much for taking the time to do this and the hard work you've been putting in. Does anybody have any questions? Yes. Thank you, Alice. Don't promise bids to anyone. Perfect.
I have a question. This is like super unrelated to recruitment, but with moving in and stuff, I've been reading online that people who are helping with Rush with like sororities and stuff, we get to move in early. Is that true with us, or are we still getting sign up dates like through the university?
So you will still be getting sign-up dates through the university because we do not have a work week, and so we don't do like a whole week of prep during Spirit Week the week before. So you'll just move in at your regularly scheduled time, unless that conflicts with the Monday and Tuesday when we need to be on Zoom, obviously, then I would change that. But yeah, because we're on Zoom, you guys can Zoom in from wherever you want to. Preferably, please be in Lincoln so I don't have to mail t-shirts everywhere and charge the chapter for a ton of postage. But ultimately, however it works best for you to participate in this, please do so. Cool. Does anybody else have any questions? Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for your time. Oh, thanks, Lauren. No, I think, Kathleen, I think we're good to go. And thanks everybody for hopping on. And I will post this recording in the GroupMe so that everyone who couldn't make it tonight will be able to watch it. And if you had any questions or forgot something, you can always go back and watch this too. If you can think of anything that you need to know, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to answer as soon as I can. And I will be posting a Google form about which state you would like your name tag to be, and also if you'll be picking your t-shirt up for me in Lincoln or if you need it mailed. So perfect. I think that's everything. Did anybody else have any announcements or anything they needed to add? Cool. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you,
Thanks,
JC.
you.
You did so good.
Thanks, guys.